Welcome. You're listening to This Indulgent Life, the podcast, with me, Mary Cook, and today with...
Me, Alan Cook.
And this is episode number 19. Today we are coming together to talk about monkeys in Mong Kok. We recently had a bucket list moment here in Hong Kong, and we went and saw monkeys. So we're going to talk about that trip today in case you're ever in Hong Kong and you would like to do that. We went and saw the monkeys on Monkey Mountain, and we went to Mong Kok and had some fun dim sum, or yum cha really. So come on in and join us. Welcome to another episode of This Indulgent Life, where together wanderlusting families navigate respectful parenting, education, and fulfilling our dreams of having an extraordinary life through travel. We believe that life shouldn't just be an obligation, and that the American dream isn't the same for everyone. We believe that life should be an indulgence, so cherished and enjoyed. And the best way to do that is through enjoying experiences together and following our hearts. May you be inspired to do the same. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you again for listening today, and just do a couple little housekeeping things. Just a quick reminder to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite channel, wherever you're listening to this, and then leave an honest rating and review. It really helps to let people know about this show, and lets me know what you like and don't like. Also, I really would love it if you would come and join the Facebook group. If you search on Facebook, it's Family Travel and Adventure Tribe with This Indulgent Life. And it's just, we're really starting to get to know each other and really kind of help each other find a way to make our lives a little bit more adventurous, as well as some fun family trips. So be sure to come and introduce yourself, and I can't wait to meet you there. If you are looking to create a family culture around intentional experiences together, and you need help doing that, you need help figuring out how to make time for it in your life, how to make time or money for it in your budget, or even what that will look like for your family, please do reach out and just message me or email me at mary@thisindulgentlife.com, and we will schedule a call to see if my family life and adventure coaching is right for you. I'm really here to help families reconnect and get out of that daily grind and have something to look forward to together. So I look forward to hearing from you. One of the things that I've kind of always wanted to do since we've come to Hong Kong, and I learned that there were actual feral monkeys, not just monkeys in a zoo, was to see them. And we've seen them in the weirdest places.
Yeah, when I had a car, we'd drive and take her to work, and then we'd just literally see them running across the road, on the side of the road. It was the craziest thing ever.
I thought it was a weird, handicapped dog. It was just running along the side of a highway, not even just a road, a highway. And then we've seen them on the overpasses and things like that. So we knew they existed. Everyone had told us. There's a mountain called Monkey Mountain, so obviously they do exist. So now that we are gearing up for our move back to the US, we knew we needed to make it happen, and that was item number 1 on my bucket list. So Alan figured out how to get there, and we took off. And let me just say, this wasn't the easiest start to an adventure. I think we had a fight. We weren't prepared.
Yeah.
It was definitely not an easy morning. And when we talk about our adventures, or when people talk about their adventures, one thing I really want you to remember is that it's not always easy, and it's not always fun for the whole time. But overall, he didn't even want to go at the one point. I was about to leave him behind.
It's not all rainbows and sunshine.
No, it is not.
But it was fun right there in the middle. At the end, it, we all got tired.
We'll tell about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But even though at one point he was like, why are we doing this? We should just go home. In the end, he was really excited, and we were all excited. A little nervous, but I'll get to that too. So just for anybody listening to this that's coming to Hong Kong and really wants to do this, just to let you know how we did it, is that we took the MTR to Lai Chi Kok Station, which is actually the station that my work is at, so luckily I knew where that was. And then you take the exit, I think it was exit C.
Exit A.
Oh, exit A for the bus terminal.
We have notes down here.
Yeah, it's later. And then we waited for bus number 72. It's literally in this like garage looking place, and it's really easy to get to, guys. Really, really easy. So don't worry about that. And then you get off at the Shek Lai Poi Reservoir. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Shek Lai Poi.
We'll have the name in the notes.
Yeah, we'll put it all in the notes. And you stop at that reservoir stop. It doesn't look like a reservoir, so don't freak out. It's literally in the middle of nowhere with just mountain and trees.
So when you get off, you have this little building there, and you have like a little gazebo sitting area. Then you have like a walking bridge that goes across the road. And that's pretty much all that's there.
Yeah, that's all you're going to see. There is a little monkey statue, but he's kind of hidden in the bushes.
And there's a sign that talks about what to do and what not to do.
Monkey safety.
Yep.
Or do read that sign. One thing I made sure of is you'll see in a lot of the videos is I wear a necklace that my mom gave me when John was born. I left that at home. If I could left my glasses at home, I probably would have left that. But nothing shiny, nothing. I mean, I left my ring on, but that's very small.
Nothing hanging out in your bags or readily accessible.
We put everything inside of our backpack, like zipped, drawstringed, locked, closed. So nothing was like in the little netting portion. Everything was hidden away. We did have some food, but it was in a lockbox in the bag. We didn't eat it on the trail. It was just for when we got off the trail. So keep that in mind, because they have been known to steal hair clips and necklaces, earrings, all sorts of things. So you just want to protect them and you, and just keep it all away. It's a pretty place though. I mean, it's just trees, and I mean, you have a lot of cars going back. I would say the cars were really annoying, but you don't stay there. However, I guess you could literally just get off the bus and see monkeys. When we came back to get back on the bus, there were monkeys just right there alongside the road.
Yeah.
However, and everyone you see all the videos on YouTube or whatever, and the monkeys are all just right there. That was not the case for us. And maybe because we got there, around 10 o'clock in the morning?
Well, there was other things going on too that we'll talk about.
But up further by us, it didn't affect that. I think it was just the time of morning.
Yeah.
So I think most people in Hong Kong don't do anything until after 10. We try to do things around 10, if not earlier, just because of heat and people. So it was actually a really good time to go. But it was a little confusing as well, because there was that drawbridge, there's a road going down, there's paths across the street, so you weren't really sure where to. I mean, there's no real sign that says go this way for monkeys. So you can, I guess, go a couple different places. We did watch a girl on YouTube, I forget who it was though. And so we tried to follow what she did, but it was still a little confusing. So we started going down the hill, and we didn't get very far before we saw something, but it wasn't a monkey. It was a
wild boar.
Yeah. So all the wild boar, we're terrified of them in the U.S. because they
ravage lands
Yeah.
and farmlands and
And,
everything
like,
else.
really hurt people. I don't know what they're like here. I knew they existed. When you see our Kadori Farms video, there are signs for them. We never saw them there, though. It's very rare to see a wild boar in Hong Kong. They exist, but they're just not like, out there for all to see. Except when we went and saw the monkeys. And then it was literally just laying there on this little hill next to the road. And so you'll have to watch the vlog. So the vlog is going to come out on Friday, and this comes out on Tuesday. So make sure you look out for the vlog, and you'll see the wild boar. I didn't get close, guys. I zoomed in on the camera. Let's be aware. You do still need to take safety precautions. But how cool is that we got to see a sleeping wild boar? Actually, multiple. There were like 2 or 3.
Yeah, it was at least 2.
Yeah. So that got us all excited, and we started going down the hill, which is just a road, by the way. It's to the water department, to the actual reservoir.
And cars go up and down.
Yeah, so please do be careful, especially around those curves. Really pay attention. It's a little hard to hear because you hear the cars on the main road, and so you're not really sure if you're hearing a car coming up the road you're on or a car is on the road. But just do pay attention. It is fairly quiet, but there are cars. And there's even a picnic area. There's a couple picnic areas, actually. So if you wanted to bring a picnic lunch, there's one before you really get to the monkeys. So that one's a little maybe safer. But the monkeys go everywhere, so it's one half dozen of the other. But just keep that in mind while you're eating. But it is a nice area to do that and shaded. So at that point, though, there were no signs. There were no monkeys.
And we got our way to the reservoir, which is like the dam area, and still no monkeys.
We were debating, do we turn around?
We saw we saw fish, we saw turtles.
Yeah, lots of turtles and fish, really long fish.
But no monkeys, and we saw
But no
construction.
monkeys. Yeah. So we're on the reservoir at this point. Boogie's already fallen down and hurt his knee once and wanted to be carried then. And yeah. And then we kept going. We're like, okay, this looks like the part in her video. This little grate thing on the reservoir bridge. This looks about right. And then there's construction. And we're like, oh, how long does this construction go for? Can we even go by? Should we keep going? Should we turn around and try to find a different direction? Are we even on the right path? We had no idea at this point. We did see monkey dropping, so we figured there were some somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and then he fell down again. He fell down and hurt his other knee.
He got a boo-boo.
So there was crying to be had by all of us. But we decided to send Alan, because I was dealing with the hurt knee, to kind of go up the path a little bit and look around the curve to see how far the construction went. And luckily it didn't go very far. So we decided to try to keep going.
We got to this other curve where it curves back to the left. And we've seen this little hill that goes up, and it has some signs about a walking path that goes around the reservoir. But before we even got to walk up those stairs,
We were debating whether we should or not. And in fact, you were even debating, should we just turn around? You were ready to give up. You were like, just ready, I'm done. It's hot. And we had already had a couple arguments. Wasn't doing very well. And then it happened.
here they come.
All of a sudden, there's one monkey. And we start trying to film and photograph and keep, I think I was carrying Boogie at that point.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he was on my back at that point, and so I'm trying to point to the monkey and show him while we're trying to be really quiet. And then he goes off. And we're like, cool, we saw a monkey. Now what?
Now another one comes by.
Well, you wanted to go home. You're like, okay, good. He was afraid of Boogie, but then at that point, Boogie wanted down. He was afraid of Boogie, like, chasing after this monkey and getting injured. He goes to those extremes, and you know, I'm sure Boogie would try to follow the monkey. But all was well, and I was, we were debating that, and then came another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then it was just like this trail of monkeys just walking by us. They might stop and look at us, but mostly they would just keep going. And then when we think the trail is done, we'd wait another minute, and there were more monkeys. So I finally convinced him to follow the monkeys, and we kept going up this path. And next thing you know, there's more monkeys. There's baby monkeys. So cute. They were up on this little hillside on like these stairs, and they were grooming each other and just kind of like splayed out and relaxed. And it's shaded right there, which was brilliant. So we were nice and cool. And at the very end of this road, you can't go any further. I mean, it just ends. And there's I guess a water department.
Some type of maybe treatment plant building thing or
Yeah,
something.
it looks abandoned. It doesn't look very like populated or anything. Obviously people are there, but I don't think it's a main thing. So many monkeys.
It looked like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
They were jumping all over top of the buildings and stuff.
They were like climbing the poles and then jumping from building to building. They were climbing along, and they would just, in a line, they would just walk along the top of this fence, this barbed wire fence. And then they would just jump from the barbed wire fence part. They would jump from one like little pole to another. And you'll have to check out the blog because I do have some really cool photos that we got of that. One really awesome one in action, really cool. At one point, I was afraid. I had turned around and Alan shouted at me, and we thought the monkey was going to jump on my head. But luckily, they didn't try to do any of that. They just minded their own business and kept walking by. It was incredible. And so then we turned back around, and Boogie, the adventurer that he is, he wanted to go up a different path, and he was very insistent on it. So we kind of start walking up that way, and we see the monkeys through the trees, so we're doing some video of that. We see these funny little
bugs.
They're like spiders, but they're white.
Mixed with ants. I don't know. It's weird.
They're kind of, if you see it, you're going to think it's like a piece of pollen or something. They're bizarre looking. But again, watch the vlog and you'll see some of that.
So I was in the midst of doing time lapse of those things.
So that means you just leave it there and it's just taking photos, and we're just kind of hanging out talking and watching monkeys across the road.
So in the midst of doing time lapse, next thing we know, another monkey started walking on the railing I had the camera strapped to. And
well, one monkey came, down near where Boogie and I were. And then another monkey, a smaller one, came. And those were the ones, they were kind of walking along the thing. But before he's trying to rescue the camera. I'm trying to rescue the kid and make sure he doesn't get too close. Because, you guys, it's a sidewalk with a railing. And the monkeys were on the railing. And so there's not very much to go. So I'm trying to step off the sidewalk. And I knew there was a step down, but I missed that there was this one block. And I started tripping and falling. I almost busted my head and my butt. And it was crazy. But they didn't care. They just kept walking by, doing their thing like you didn't exist whatsoever. It was just really, watching them eat and groom, and there were the fights, though.
oh yeah, the monkeys who fight, they fight hard.
You think toddlers squeal. They really squeal. And at that point, you were like, I'm done.
Yeah, it's time
You're
to
like, okay, we got enough. Thanks, let's go.
They start fighting, and I'm start out. Planet of the Apes. Nope.
So we did. We just went back the same way we came. It's a pretty easy hike. Most of it is most of it's pretty flat or just a little bit up. It's only the last part when you're going back up to the bus stop. That's a pretty steep hill. So the whole thing can be done with a wheelchair or a stroller easily for the most part. except that last hill. That one is pretty, I mean, it's not super steep, but if you're not very fit like us, you're gonna huff and puff a little bit. And that one's not very shaded, so just beware. But even then, we were coming back. We had seen the monkeys. We were exhilarated and happy, but we're huffing and puffing. And then next thing you know, there's more monkeys jumping off the side of this hillside that's covered in concrete. And it was so fun and just like simple. It was just so simple. It was almost completely free. You just had to pay for the bus ride. And it's just not something that you would normally do. Mm-mm. And I'm so glad. I'm really like, why didn't we do this sooner? But I'm so glad we did now. I don't know how much John got out of it, but he did enjoy them as he saw them, and he'll have the video later. And then that was pretty much it. We came back, we rested at that little sitting gazebo, went to the local public bathroom, which was interesting.
Public bathroom.
Yeah, that will be a whole nother video. But it was fairly clean. You checked out toilet paper from the guy in the building. There's like you could buy like, I guess, snacks and things. Yeah. There are vending machines for drinks, but there is no water. So make sure you bring plenty of water. And it's only squatty potties. So ladies, have fun. And then you do have to go back the way you came. That's when you go over the drawbridge. But even then, like as we're sitting and chilling and just kind of cooling off, we saw monkeys across the street on the side of the mountain and walking by us. And so they must start really coming out around 11:30 or so.
Yeah, they're on Hong Kong time.
Yeah, for sure. And then we had to wait for the bus. Now, the bus doesn't come very often, so just know that if you're wanting to take that same bus. And then we took it all the way back to Lai Chi Kok Station. And that's where the fun begins. So Mary had the bright idea to, instead of just going somewhere like we always go to, like cheap, like McDonald's or something, Mary had the bright idea to try one of these cool, it's not quite dim sum. It's called Yum Cha, and the place we went to is called Yum Cha. But there are a couple different places that you can go to that have something similar. But it's where they make the food cutesy, basically. Like, like faces, like custard buns that look like a face, so when you squish it, it looks like they're vomiting custard. Or hot dog rolls that look like the shape of a dog. And I had seen it. In fact, it just came up on my memory. Somebody had shared it with me a few years ago. And so we decided to try it out.
Bring your wallet.
Yeah. So the one we went to is in Mong Kok. Because I wanted to go to Ladies Market afterwards anyway and find a phone case for my phone. And it was closer. So we went to the one in Mong Kok. It's in a big mall. I don't remember.
It's called a Langham Place.
Langham Place, that's right. So following the directions in Google Maps isn't quite right. But when you're in the MTR, just go to the exit for Langham Place.
I think it's like exit C4 or something of that nature. Or you can, if you don't follow that exit, if you come out E1, that's also an exit you can come out of to go to there as well.
But just know Langham Place. And it's actually got some pretty cool things in it. And it's on the floor with the food court.
Fourth floor.
Yeah, fourth floor.
Or 4A as they call it.
And it's kind of, there's this big food, so you walk through these couple little restaurants, but then it's tucked in the corner on the left next to the big food court with all the little places like you would imagine in a food court. It's a cutesy place.
They have like these
Really
bird
cute.
cages, things with food inside of them that
They
can
had
bring.
Easter specials. The website says that they're only open until 3 and then open again for dinner. But we found after we got there at like 2:30 that they actually have a special, like a tea time special from 3 to 6. And that would have been, I think, better if we had done that. So we did go. We got lots of different little things. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite food, to be perfectly honest. The hot dog roll is not a normal hot dog, just FYI. It is
A Chinese sausage.
Yeah, it's a mix between a sausage and a jerky. And
No, that's that Chinese sausage. The
okay,
one-
yeah, but people don't understand what that is.
It's if you ever walk around the streets of Hong Kong, you'll maybe see in some of these shops these sausage-looking things that may be hanging up. They're different, wrinkly looking.
But they're hard. They're more firm.
Yeah, they
They're a
have
little sweet in a weird way. It's not a normal hot dog. So
No.
just know that right now. We got 2 because we thought that would be our main food with the hot dog roll. And Boogie pretty much just ate the bread off of it and we just didn't eat it. So just keep that in mind. We didn't get everything. And they do have this one really cool thing. Like, it comes in like a cage and it has like dry ice at the bottom. So it's all like smoking at the bottom. And it's a set. I think it's that tea time set where you get to choose a couple different things. Really recommend doing that if you want to try this out. Go to the food court. Get some cheap food. That looked really yummy, actually.
They have Japanese, Korean, a little bit of Chinese.
Lots of different things. So go do that and then come to Yum Cha for just like a little fun experience because it is so expensive. We spent the equivalent of probably $90 US and it was not worth it. Sorry, guys. Cute place, but I'm not going to steer you guys wrong. It wasn't really worth the money that they charge. It's an experience. It's one experience to be had, but don't make it your main meal, pretty much is what we're trying to say. Yeah. But then we walked around the mall just a tiny bit. They got some cutesy stores, especially if you're into like comics and things like that. There were lots of little exhibits. Malls in Hong Kong can be really outlandish and amazing, and lots of new exhibits all the time. So walking a mall in Hong Kong is an experience into itself. So definitely kind of look around there while when you're done. And then the ladies' market was pretty much just right across the road, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It was
Yeah.
a couple streets.
It wasn't very far at all. But by that point, everyone's tired. It was like 3:34. They do have right in the food court for parents, there is one room specifically for changing babies' diapers, but I don't know if they had any feeding rooms or not. I do know that this particular room had a changing pad in the same hallway as the toilets. But it is only one, so you gotta wait. Toilets, I went to the toilets, they were fairly clean, so that one wasn't so bad. Ladies' market. I did try to get some video for you guys. I did.
We got a little bit.
Got a little bit. Again, it's an experience, and it's one we didn't used to mind doing. But it is not very fun with kids. So definitely either put them on your shoulders or baby wear them. Do not bring a stroller. I don't even think we went during rush hour. Like, that wasn't even like the major time of day to go.
Unfortunately, they really don't start opening up ladies' market until like 11 or 12 o'clock in that lunchtime area. So it's not like you can get there like 8,
Really
9,
early.
8 really early.
Yeah.
You know, they're not even there yet.
But it's mostly just kitschy stuff, like I Love Hong Kong, or jade bracelets, or
Coffee
fans and watches and tea sets and chopsticks and bags, suitcases,
Magnets.
phone cases, clothing. Yeah, all those kinds of things.
Weird underwear.
Oh, yeah. That one could be skipped by kids, too. And I didn't find my phone case because finding an iPhone X case seems to be very difficult in Hong Kong right now. I don't know why. They have all the models before and all the model after, but not that one. So it was frustrating. Again, another argument. Just to let you know, not all rainbows and sunshine, like you said. So we still have fights. Having adventures together doesn't, make us immune to arguments or anger of any kind or frustration or problems. But it's worth it.
It is.
We were able to look back on the day after we cooled down a little bit, and Boogie finally fell asleep because he was screaming for me the whole time that he had taken off with him to get out of the crowds, and it wasn't very fun for anyone at that point. But once I put him in the carrier and he finally fell asleep, because that was like 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the afternoon, and of course he had already missed his nap, so he was really, really tired. But we were able to calm down, and then we were able to reminisce and enjoy the experience again. So it's that shared bond, right? And that's what my coaching is all about. Even it's getting you to push yourself and push your family out of your comfort zone to try something new and create these shared memories, because you won't regret it. And these fights and things that you have,
They go. You learn from them, and you learn. You're constantly learning with it, and you learn like what triggers you, what you need to do, what don't you need to do. And I'm a lot better than I was. It's just there's still a little more to work on, but
well, each trip that we've done, because we've done a lot more recently than we have in the past. Each trip, we're learning something new, learning something we don't need to pack, learning something we do need to pack, learning to pack the night before if we want to go leave in the morning. We're finding our roles and how we can support each other and make it so not one person is doing everything, or it's just different. Every time we're learning something new, and even though there are those problems, there's way more positives. And each trip is bringing us closer and closer together. And that's what I want for you guys. That's why we have this podcast, right? To share these inspirational stories. So I think that's about all I have to say on Monkeys in Mong Kok, because man, we went home and
was tired.
watched TV. There's still a time and a place for that, people. But yeah, if you're ever coming to Hong Kong, I definitely recommend doing the monkeys. Do that instead of going to the zoo. Don't go to the zoo, people.
Yeah.
Don't go to the zoo. I'm going to X that right now.
That's sad.
We're not even going to do a video on the zoo. We have been before Boogie was ever born. I will not go again.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. If you've ever been to a zoo in the U.S., you do not want to go to this zoo. It's kind of funny because they have like a raccoon exhibit. So in that sense, it's bizarre because, you wouldn't think to go to a zoo and see a raccoon. That's not really an American's idea of a zoo animal. But that's something they're not used to here. So that is a zoo animal for them. But they try. I'll give them that. They are trying, but it's not a good situation in my opinion. I don't want to support that. But I will support Monkey Mountain. So go see Monkey Mountain.
Especially if you want to get out to the countryside and explore maybe nature a little bit and really see what's out there.
And there's actual hiking trails. Now, most hiking trails in Hong Kong are paved, so that's not what I mean. But there are other hiking trails that you can take once you're there on the other side of the hill, or even around the reservoir. There's multiple angles. We only
went this far.
Yeah.
when you can go this far.
It was enough for us, and then we were hungry. So keep that in mind. Just bring plenty of water, bring some sunscreen, bring a hat, maybe even a little portable fan. We like those here in Hong Kong. And enjoy yourself.
If you bring a picnic, just make sure it's secured out of the way where monkeys or other animals can get to it, and then eat it once you're fairly comfortable away from certain areas. So.
And throw away your trash, people. Don't leave it out. We don't like seeing trash on the paved areas or any areas.
There's bins. There's your bag. You brought it in. Take it away.
Oh, and don't try and eat near the reservoir if that construction's going on at lunchtime, because the construction workers will be taking a nap. Just FYI.
Yeah, there's a little picnic area up there.
Overlooking the reservoir. It's a really nice view.
Yeah, would have been.
Would have been. But they were sleeping and we didn't want to disturb them. It's hard work. I can't blame them. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Monkeys in Mong Kok. I'm really looking forward to doing this one. I just want to again remind you to leave an honest rating and review in iTunes especially, or in your podcast area of choice. Join our Family Travel and Adventure Tribe on Facebook. Really just ask any questions you have about how you can make more intentional decisions about exploring or making experiences with your family. And again, if you want some one-on-one help with that, please do email me and we can get on a call, a free first call, and I'll even give you your first baby step to making this happen for you. I'm all about the action steps. So that's all for today. Next time, we are going to have an episode 20. Oh, that's right. We're talking with Jenna from There's a Shoe for That. And we initially started out with talking about how to do potty training while road traveling. And then it got into so much more than that. It's really a great episode. You're really going to enjoy it. Please, please, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. It will automatically download if you subscribe. Thank you again, and I would love to see if you screenshot this page on this podcast and add it to your Insta stories and tag me at This Indulgent Life. I'd love to see you and what you thought of this episode. Take care. Bye.